couples are still kind of like, oh, if we're going to couples therapy, I think that means we're broken or something's wrong. Or maybe it's my fault. And maybe the therapist is going to say, I'm the only one that needs to do something different. We are not doing a great job at understanding I'm not broken if I need couples therapy. We just need some new tools. And so couples are avoiding coming because they're afraid, what is everybody going to think about their relationship if they're in couples therapy? My only job as a couples therapist is to help you have the best life possible. That means I don't take sides. If you're coming to end the relationship, I give you that space. I'm not trying to convince you that you shouldn't do what makes sense to you, right? I also have to have skills to work with couples. You're in conflict. You're not just looking for me to say, oh, okay, that's fine, you're good. What I'm trying to help you do is have a didactic conversation. How are you going to talk to each other? So coming to work with us is a little bit structured. The first 4 sessions are what we call assessment. We don't know anything about what's going on in your world. So the first session, you're gonna come in, you're gonna meet with a therapist and tell them the history of you as a couple. How'd you meet? How'd you fall in love? What's life been like? Then you're going to take something called an online relationship checkup, which is distributed through the Gottman Institute. And it's going to take each of the couples about an hour. And it's going to ask them a bunch of questions that we don't have time for in that first session. Like, do either of you have a history of anxiety or depression? What's your family of origin like? What did they teach you about conflict? Where are you at with your levels of trust and commitment? Because the therapist has spent time learning about who you are as a couple. If I just say, here's what most couples should learn, here's some tools, let's just do these, and you came in for a specific need and I have no idea because I haven't spent any time getting to know you, you're going to be disappointed. You're not going to feel like it was a good use of your time, your money, your resources, your emotions. You need that therapist to feel like, hey, I have a sense about what's going on in your world. Here's what I came up with. Did I get it right? So that when I recommend tools that we use, you know that it's because I'm somebody that spent some time in your world. And I'm not asking you to do something that I don't think is valuable or useful to get you to where you want to go. Then you're each going to come in and individually have something that I lovingly call the vent session, which means, hey, you need to come in and spend some time by yourself with a therapist. You need to tell me what you're worried about, what you hope for in therapy, what you want to make sure that we address, because if you don't, I don't get a true sense of where you are. If you're coming in and sugarcoating it for your partner, I don't know what you need to work on, right? Because each of us has individual things that we want to make sure that we address in couples therapy. Session 4, you then come back and we lay out for you from the Gottman method, where are we at as a couple? What are our strengths, because we have them, and what are our areas of growth? After that, it's more your therapy than it is our assessment. So typically one of 3 things will happen. 1, you'll learn a new tool, right? The Gottmans have over 50 different tools. So we'll teach you a new way to talk about things, bring things up, deal with things that you haven't been dealing with. 2, you might have gotten into conflict. The average couple gets in 1 per week. I expect my couples to. This is normal, but we have no tools, right? So we have to learn how to do conflict differently. Or number 3, couples have what we call a perpetual issue, which means we have a problem that we are not going to get rid of. The average couple has 2 or 3 things that they're never going to completely resolve in the course of their relationship. We have to find a new way to talk about them so that they don't feel like they're going to end the relationship every time it comes up. Right? And so how are we going to work on what could feel like a temporary compromise? Because the rest of your relationship, if you have a perpetual issue, will be a set of temporary compromises. We try something, we reevaluate it. That didn't work. Great, throw that out, keep this part, and then just keep on moving down the road. The point is to keep growing and keep having these conversations so that we don't just push them under the rug so that when trouble comes up, we don't deal with it and then boom, it's there again. When clients first hear about the process of what we do, they're relieved. They're like, oh my God, this makes sense. There's boundaries, there's structure, I feel safe. I feel like this isn't just going to be a free-for-all where we come in and talk about feelings and then we leave and we're more upset than we started. They feel relieved. They know that they're in good hands with somebody who knows what they're doing.